Hello and welcome to this Delegate demonstration webinar. Here we're going to talk through Nursing Times Patient Flow Forum 2020 event that's coming up on the 15th and 16th of October, so a couple of weeks' time. My name's Harry and I'm from Nursing Times and the event manager working on this event. I'm going to talk you through our virtual event platform and show you how to access the event and how to get the most out of your time at the event. So this session has been recorded and we'll upload it to YouTube afterwards, and you can watch it via link to catch up on anything that you might have missed. So on the screen currently is our virtual event platform. This platform is called Swapcard, and we're using it to deliver all of our conferences and careers fairs from Nursing Times. There are a number of different features and functions that I'm going to walk you through. First of all, we'll start with kind of general functionality of the platform. Then we'll look at consuming the content, so watching the sessions and getting involved in the discussions. Then we'll look at your kind of networking on the site and your personal professional development, connections with other nurses and speakers and sponsors. And then we'll kind of just do a couple of broad overview things, and there'll be a chance to ask questions at the end if you have any. So you should have already received a PDF document and an email from Swapcard inviting you to log on. Your profiles have already been created. You just need to go to swapcard.com. And I'll do this now so that you can see. Hopefully it's not going to load me in. Yeah, perfect. In the top right hand corner of the screen, we've got a login as participant button. This is the button you need to click. Now it's going to take me straight through to my event because I've already logged in, but it will ask you for an email address. You'll enter that email address and it will send you an email to your email with a link to create a password. Once you've created that password, then you're in, and this is the screen that you'll end up with. So this is the screen that you'll be faced with. You've got your profile on the left, and then Nursing Times Patient Flow Forum 2020, 15th of October to the 16th of October. So we're going to click on Nursing Times Patient Flow Forum once you're in. Boom. And this is what it looks like. This is the homepage of the event. So key buttons for you on the front here. Take a look at those in your own time. We've got, it's pretty self-explanatory. Imagine you're in a physical environment. It's basically the same options you'd get, but in a virtual world. So we've got a watch live content button. This will take you basically into the conference room. We've got attendees, agenda, speakers, sponsors, my event, which I'll talk through a little bit in detail, and then a couple of other buttons at the bottom, which we'll address shortly. The buttons on the front here correspond directly to the tabs at the top. So wherever you are in the site, you can access the same tabs from the top. They'll always remain, so you can click around, navigate your way around the site nice and easily. As you scroll down, there's a link to Teletracking, who are the event's sponsor, and a link to find out more about Nursing Times as well. And right at the bottom, there's a welcome letter from editor of Nursing Times, Steve Ford. So have a read of that in your own time when you're logged into the platform. It's just to set some kind of context for the event and welcome you along to the event too. Imagine you've got an event guide, a program at the event, and there's always a letter from the editor. So that's the virtual equivalent. So let's start with the kind of key bit, which is accessing the sessions at the event. So to do that, there are two different ways you can do that. First way is to click Watch Live, and of course this will take you to whatever session is playing at the time. So if I click, for example, Watch Live now, there's nothing there. So cool. I have to let it play every time it plays. So this is just a holding graphic that's there at the moment, but when there's a session playing live, that will appear in the box there and it will just automatically start. You might find that it starts playing muted. To unmute, you just click on the image and it will unmute. You can do a couple of things here. You can maximize it full screen in the bottom right hand corner here, and that will take your video full screen and it will keep the live discussion and chat on the right hand side. And to get rid of that, you just press the X button in the top left-hand corner. It'll take you back to the main page. Each session has a number of different things on it. So we've got the time and the date. Then we've got the type of session that it is. So for a panel session, that will say panel. For a keynote, it will say keynote, etc. Then there's an information section. If the session has a description attached to it, then the description will appear here. And then you've got a list of the speakers. So this is the chair of the conference, Steve Ford, will be delivering his opening remarks. When it's a keynote speaker, it will say keynote speaker, and panel, it will list the panel members. You can click through on these profiles to visit that person's profile. You can see a biography of them, but I'll tackle that in a minute. So back at the Watch Live, if I click play and then I navigate away from this page, you'll see that it will minimize into the corner, and you can be clicking around the site while also watching the content. So I'll do that now. I'm clicking play, and then I click on the agenda. The content here has appeared in a box, and it will continue to play while you click around between your different tabs. And when you go back to your Watch Live, it goes back into its box. It's quite intuitive. And what it means is that you can be clicking around and enjoying the event and networking with each other, looking at the next session, having a chat with a colleague, all while you're still watching the content and still engaged in that content, which is a really cool feature. On the right hand side here, we've got a chat function, a questions tab, and a polls tab. Now, the chat function is exactly what you would imagine a chat function is. For this session, anyone that posts a message into the chat, it will appear there and you can have conversations with each other. In the questions tab, this is where you can ask a question to the speaker. So for a session where there's a recorded presentation and then a live Q&A, and that will be indicated in the information box, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. And so you just ask your question in here. So answer this like this, test question, and then you click send and it will appear as a test question. You can upvote other people's questions to find which one's the most popular. The polls, I'm just going to remove that question. The polls will only be valid if you get prompted by the person on the screen to answer a poll. It will appear, and then you just answer the poll, and we'll discuss the results. There will be some polling during this event, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, so that's consuming the content. That's the first way of doing it. Second way of doing it is to go to the agenda page after the event, and you can click back and watch any of the sessions on demand. So, for example, if you wanted to watch this first session with teletracking, improving patient flow through technology, and you missed it, say the session was held at 1 p.m, but you joined the event at 9 p.m. because you've had a long day and you want to watch some content on your way home or when you're back at home, you just click back on the session, and it will appear here as a watch on demand box, and the content, the chat and the questions and the polls will all still be there attached to that session. When a session moves on to the next session, the chat and the polls, etc., reset for that next session. So you might panic because you see all of your stuff disappear. Don't worry, it's saved, but it's in the previous session chat. Okay, so that's the agenda. Very simple. Click between Thursday and Friday, and you can look at, browse the different sessions, see which speakers are on which session, and what the description of each session is. Then we've got an attendees tab, and this is quite simple. This is a full list of all of the attendees signed up to attend the event. Quite a lot. Over 400 of you have signed up to attend, which is fantastic. The way that Swapcard works is we use a relatively sophisticated artificial intelligence system, which matchmakes delegates and attendees with each other based on their activity at the event. So to put this into simple terms, let's say, for example, you are particularly interested in discharge as an element of patient flow. Okay, discharge, you're a discharge planner or a discharge worker, and that's your thing. That's what you're interested in connecting with other people about and learning about at the event. You will have entered in elements that you're responsible for in your registration form. So there is, let me give you an example of this. Let me find an attendee who's got this in there. 1 second. Here we go. So this attendee, Shah Marie Adkins, in her skills section here, she's got areas that she's responsible for. So at her organisation, or at their organisation, they are responsible for service quality improvement, organisational development and management. So this person has selected those as their areas of responsibility. The artificial intelligence will automatically pick up those elements and learn that this person is interested in those topics. When that person then clicks on a specific agenda session, that might also be tagged with one of those topics, and slowly the system will learn that this person is interested in those topics. When you then go to the attendees tab, there are two sections. We have a people you should meet section and a more opportunity section. The more opportunity section is simply a list of all of the attendees at the event. The people you should meet tab at the top is the artificial intelligence working on what I've just talked about, its learnings of you at the event, and it will suggest people that you should network based on your activity at the event. It's up to you whether you use that. You can completely ignore it and just search the normal list if you want, and you'll get out of it what you put into it. You can also search on the left-hand side for people with a particular band or years since qualification, or people with a particular area of practice. And that will filter the attendees on the list. You can add to the artificial intelligence knowledge by adding criteria here, by posting in discharge and other tabs, other topics, pardon, and the system will add that to your calculation. Again, don't worry about it if it sounds too complicated for you. It will naturally work its, do its thing in the background, and you don't need to worry about it. Okay, that's the attendees tab. Speakers tab is very similar. It's just a full list of the speakers at the event. Sponsors, similarly, we have tele-tracking, Nursing Times, and Nursing Times subscriptions. So to find out more about Nursing Times as a brand, click on the Nursing Times option. And to find out a little bit more about a Nursing Times subscription and how that might aid you in your professional development, or from your organization's perspective, you can click on the Nursing Times subscription button. This will give you a number of different bits of information when it's complete. The tele-tracking sponsor booth, if I click on that now, we can find out more about tele-tracking in the information section, why they're sponsoring the event, find their social media links, their website, and we can see which sessions they'll be appearing on as well. We can click through to those and it will take you to the session page. Similarly, from the session page, you can click on tele-tracking and it will take you back to the booth. It's all a big circular environment. Perfect. Let's talk a little bit about the other tabs on the list. So we've got the Ignite competition shortlist. As part of the agenda, you'll see the session here, Innovation in Action Showcase. We have shortlisted presentations from the Ignite presentation shortlist. Now, these shortlisted entrants were part of a competition and they were chosen by the panel of judges as the 3 best innovation in action showcases, and they'll be performing 10-minute presentations about their innovations. You can find out more about each of the innovations by clicking on the Ignite competition shortlist tab and then clicking the shortlist entrant that you'd like to learn more about. So if we take Claire Fagan, we click on Claire's profile and we've got the full entry in full here, which we can have a read of, and we can understand why Claire and this entry was shortlisted for the presentation. And then of course you can watch the presentation to learn more about it. Okay, the chat to the MT team for help button is super helpful. This is a direct line, direct chat to me and to other members of the Nursing Times team. So if you have a problem or a question, or you want to find out more about the event, post a message in there, we'll see it and we'll get back to you. And then the My Event tab, I'll come back to in a second. I'm going to talk to you now about networking on the site. Before you do anything on the website, what you should do is edit your profile. So first of all, check that your profile is up to date as you'd like it. Your registration information was used to create your profile. So your job title, your organization name, your areas of responsibility, your skills were all put in from the information you gave us in your registration. To edit your profile, you're just going to click on the edit button on the home page here in the top left, and it will take you to your profile page. This is what everyone else can see. And you can edit your profile picture or your job title. You can edit your areas of responsibility, which we call skills, and we can edit your bio, social media links, your contact information, and your company information. Make sure you take a few minutes just to complete that. Remember, if you're looking for other people on the site, you'd like their profile to be complete. So do them a favor and make sure your profile is complete as well. If we go back to the home page, once you've edited your profile, it's a good opportunity then to start networking with other attendees at the event. To do that, we click on the attendees tab and we find the person that we want to message. So let's take, for example, Amelia Knowles, my colleague. Here she is. This is her profile. We have already had a chat about the event, and you can see down here we've got a number of different other things, so we can find out about her profile. We can look at common contacts we have in common, and we can see the skills that she selected and her email address. Now we've also got a meeting slot section here. Now This is, there are two ways to connect with somebody. So the first way, think of it like LinkedIn. You send them a connection request, and to demonstrate that, I'll find somebody I've not connected with yet. Let's take Berenice Groves, Director of Operations at Blackpool Teaching Hospital. You can see this connect with Berenice button has appeared. So we're going to enter in, hi there, let's connect. You might type a message here, you know, we're from the same organisation and we don't know each other, or, you know, I'm particularly interested in this element of your job, like let's have a chat. And so you'd send a connection request just like LinkedIn. Once you send the connection request, it will be pending until they accept it. The second way you can connect with somebody is via a meeting request. And so you probably only do this if you've got something you want to discuss, if you've connected with them first, and then you want to have a virtual meeting. Meetings are video calls. They're video calls within the platform one-on-one. So if we go to the attendees tab and we find Amelia's profile again, I can set up a meeting with Amelia at any of these times. So if I want to set up a meeting, let's say for the event day at 10:20 a.m., I click 10:20 and I select a virtual meeting. And I say, hi, Amelia, let's chat about X, Y, or Z. And then I send the meeting request. The meeting request has now appeared as pending on Amelia's profile. And when she accepts it or declines it, it will appear in that way as well. Amelia will get a notification to let her know that I have requested a meeting with her. And the notifications are stored at the top here. Now, there are 4 different tabs to be available to be aware of. You can see the tabs in blue that I'm hovering over here by my face on the right-hand side. First tab is a home tab. Clicking that will always take you back to the home page. And then the messages, notification bell, and contacts tab. These are very much like Facebook. So take for example Facebook. Okay, so you've got a this is Messenger essentially, and this is a full list of everyone who you've connected with during your time at the event and have sent messages with. So you can always access your messages from this tab. The notifications bell is very straightforward. This is a full list of notifications that you've received. So you'll get a notification when a meeting has been confirmed, or when somebody's requested a meeting with you, or when someone's connected with you, or when a session that you are attending is about to start. You'll get all these notifications. So make sure you check those, and you can mark them all as red, you know, just like on Facebook. And the 0 new is showing now. You'll also get emails if you miss any notifications because you're not on the platform. You'll get an email notification to let you know that you've missed something. Your contacts tab is a full list of the contacts that you've made at the event, and you can export your contacts as an Excel sheet from here. So if you want to, you can do that. You can see in notifications, I got a new notification. It's appeared as a number 1. Amelia has accepted my meeting. Excellent. So then I can either start the meeting call from here, or I can click on her profile. It's now changed from pending to confirmed, and we can start the video call from this page. Alternatively, I can go to my event. So good timing, Amelia, accepting my meeting invitation. Well done. I'm going to go to my event here. And you can see that my meeting with Amelia has appeared in the My Events section. What will also appear here sooner to the time is all of the sessions that you've been signed up to attend, which is the content sessions, and your meetings will slot in wherever you've booked them in. It's in time order. From here, I can do a couple of things. I can start my meeting call, or I can cancel the meeting. I'm going to cancel the meeting, and you can see that in my event, the meeting's disappeared. And you can see a full list of your meetings here, and this is where you can control whether you're available for a meeting or not. So if you'd like, when I clicked on Amelia's profile there, it had a whole list of times. If I show you that, or click on anyone, it's got a full list of times that I could make a meeting with this person. If I want to turn that off for my own profile, I just go to my event and to my meetings, and I can make myself unavailable for specific days or available for specific time slots. So you can manage that yourself. My networking is just a full list of all your contacts. Okay, so that is it in a nutshell. There's a link on the homepage here, how to use this event platform. That will take you to download the help document, which I've already sent via email, and the chat with the NTE team for help. Definitely use that if you need to. The most engagement we get at these events virtually is via the chat function on the Watch Live tab. So please, when you join, Amelia wants to meet me. No, thank you. Decline. So that's how easy it is to do. You can do it all from your notifications tab. There's a live discussion tab here on the right. This is the chat for the session. Definitely use that. Let us know who you are, where you're from. Comment on the sessions, comment on what you're hearing, comment on the content that's being delivered. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about whether you're enjoying the session or not, or whether you've got something to add to the session. And remember, if you've got links to any kind of helpful documents that you know, or websites that you think might benefit the other participants, post them in the chat as well, and people can take advantage of it. We will have shortly, I haven't set it up yet, but there will be a Nursing Times on the sponsors tab. There'll be a Nursing Times Patient Flow Resource Centre, which you can access. That will have a full list of all of the presentation slides from the speakers. You can also access that from the agenda tab. So we take the Improving Patient Flow Through Technology page. There will be a document here which you can download, which will be Stephen's slides when he's done them, when they're ready to be shared. Final thing to note to mention is that the event is not Chatham House, so anything you post in the chat forum or in the discussion, we will have the Nursing Times reporter on the event. So anything that comes up, we possibly will report on. So that's mainly due to the content, but please only post what you're comfortable with. Remember that the live chat discussion is a public forum. And finally, there is no certificate for attendance specifically for each session, but you can certainly email me and I can provide you with proof that you attended for any professional development reasons. I think that's all I have to say about the event platform. Really key is that you log on as soon as possible, profile set up, and once you've logged in with your password, it doesn't matter what you do then. If you only log in 2 minutes before the session, no problem. The problem comes when people log on for the first time 5 minutes before their session and they realise that there's a problem, they've given us the wrong email address, or perhaps there's an issue with their emails and it's blocking the emails. So try not to leave it to the last minute. Please log in well in advance of the session, and that way we can raise and resolve any issues that come up well in advance. Any questions from the people who are on the call before we end the call? No, nobody's unmuting, so that's great. I'm going to end the recording now, and we'll share a YouTube link for people to watch this session back in their own time. Thanks very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the 15th of October, hopefully logging into the platform well before then. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.